Good afternoon all. Well, it's another day and another painting beckons. But for those of you who are not on Facebook who have asked for me to show you the finished painting from yesterday, here is here it is. I'm sorry about the light. Hope you can see that okay. And before I put this on the tripod, this is the next one. Blue purple background. And my inspiration is going to come from this one here. Okay. I'm back, folks. Right, you have to excuse me. I've got a chocolate lime in my mouth. Been working all morning, busy at the allotment, picking all the produce in the rain, pouring rain, and then I had to prepare and cook the dinner. And I always get a bit noddy, you know, I can just sit in the chair and fall asleep, so I felt myself going for it. Right, that means I've got to get on with some painting. So after all the positive feedback from yesterday, I thought, let's follow this style of painting. We'll see if we can do another one, and we'll introduce a different brush this time. We'll see if we can get some grass strokes by using one of these. And it's a size 8 round. Well, that's what I'm going to do. But to start with, we've got this purpley background, and I'm going to continue to give a bit of depth, and now I'm going to use some green, which I'm going to dab with the kitchen towel. So what we've got is some hooker's green, and I'm using some sap green. What you have to do, you have to put it on liberally. You've not got to, you've got to dab it, and you've not got to smudge it, because that will just interfere with the effect what you want. Basically what we're doing is we're trying to give the illusion of depth and colour from the leaves without actually painting the leaves in. So we're just trying to make it look more complicated than what it actually is. Now as you're seeing this now, you probably already might be catching it. You can the colour's actually soaking into the canvas. So it might be bright, it might look brighter at the minute, but it's not going to last for long because the canvas will soak it up. Now I'm going to have to remember that when I hear the camera make a noise that it's actually switched itself off, because I think it's got an hour timer, not an hour, half an hour timer, so I must try and remember that. In fact, if I have a look now, it's probably be about 25 to when I started this. We've got about another quarter an hour and 20 minutes and that's going to be it. Right, you can already see that it's actually soaking in. So we've got that hint of that darker greens in. We're just going to add a little bit of a lighter sap green in here now. We need another bit of tissue. We're not getting that effect what I want. Right, I think that's going to be more or less what I need of the green for now anyway. In fact, what we could do, shall we have a little play? Here's the brush. We're going to just soak it in some water just to let the paint flow easier, and let's just give an indication of some leaves. Need a bit of lighter shade in there, to be honest. Ah, that's more like it. Just remember, when you're doing a painting, you don't need to follow what you see. You can make things up. Okay, so that's just given us a little bit of indication that there's some sort of leaves in here. My style of painting is very loose. I'm not looking for photographic interpretation. I'm just down to having a bit of fun, to be honest. And I don't know whether this is going to work because it's not my normal practice to do things this way, but you know, it seemed to be popular yesterday, so let's have another bash. It's either going to work or it's not. Okay. Okay, that's the leaves done. Time to have a little play with the reds. I think we need, what we got here, we've got that cadmium red medium here. This is very old tube. I don't think I'll bother with that one. Let's go back over here. Got some vermilion. I hope you can still see me. You might not be able to, but I'll be back. I'm just putting some onto my disposable palette here. Have some crimson. That's it, folks. So I've got now some more paint on here. Time to have a little bit of a play now. So I'm just going to add a splash of colour into the parts where I'm going to have to add some brushwork to, some detail. I'm just going to, sorry, paint's already drying as quick as I can. So I'm going to have, now I'm going to have to slightly alter it to where things are on here, because I need things to fall into place on the imaginary lines. So I think we're going to have a, oh yeah, just look at that. Yeah. Oh yes, that works well, doesn't it? We'll have it just there, like that. Imaginary line across here, just here. Yeah, lovely. And then we're going to have another one just here, and coming down across just here, like so. And then we're going to have another one in just here. Okay. I'm going to add just a few little just going to add some little bits of red up here, just to give the indication of flowers. Oh. Bit of a happy mistake there, but it's alright. Little, being very careful here and just Giving some indications. Oh. When you're doing this, sometimes you've got to vary the pressure. Oh, now, doesn't that look good? Can you see that? You've just got to make sure you've got enough paint on the tissue just to give that effect. Oh, that's lovely. That's beautiful. Right. As I said before, it's a lot down to layers. Oh, isn't this good? I'm enjoying this. Right, I'll get rid of that tissue. It's time to have a bit of fun with the brush. And it's also time to add a bit of water to my paint on the palette, because it's so warm in here it's actually drying. Right. I certainly hope that you can see how I'm doing this. Isn't it funny? This is what it's all about. It's just about it's just about being creative and just creating something without worry. No pressures. I've only got you lot watching me. Okay, that's not looking too bad, is it? And I think what we'll do now, we'll go around some of these where I've added the splodges of colour, and we'll pick out some and we'll just add some. Well, in fact, what we'll do, we'll use a smaller brush, a smaller round. The petals basically aren't as big, so we don't need such a big brush. In case you're wondering, all I do is wash my brushes out in water. I don't use anything else on it. Right. Okay. I'm going to use a number 4 now. Number 4 round. I'm hoping this is recording still. I better check. Sorry about this, folks, but I want you to get the whole feel of this painting. Yeah, apparently we are still recording. So I've just got to listen for that sound. Right, so let's crack on with some to be honest with you, I think we need to add a little bit of white into these reds just to get it to show up a little bit more. Because of the dark background. Now you'll notice I'm varying the pressure on the brush. I don't want all the strokes to be the same, so it's all different. And yes, I might be going against the grain in the movement of the brush. I do know that it's done on purpose. And also you may have noticed we've got a lot of white in there. That's going in afterwards. Once this is all dry, then I shall add the white ones in. Oh, isn't this funny? I wonder if this is how it's meant to be. I wonder if this is what a true artist feels, that just being spontaneous. Yeah, I think I could get used to this. I suppose though, I can't do much worse than what I am, can I? I mean, I've not sold a single painting yet, so there can't be much good. So maybe this is the way to go. Right. I'm quite pleased with how that's going. We're just going to have some... no, I'm going to leave that like that. I'm not going to add any detail to those. We do need a bit more in here. Like that. And obviously these need a bit of movement in there. Same with that. Add some of that. Just a little hint of colour there. I think maybe just something like that. And you know what? I think we need something down here in these leaves. So I'm just gonna add something in there. Get some of that red, dot it in there. Just get some white. I'm back, folks. It's back on. It switched itself off at the half-hour mark. So I'm going to have to keep an eye on that. Can't believe it's half an hour we've been on this already. It's flown by. Just thinking I'm going to add a... had it. All I'm doing now is I'm just adding an incy wincy bit of black that will go into my alizarin crimson, just to give a bit more depth to the centre. You see that's darkened it up because the alizarin crimson on this particular paint is very light. So what I want to do is just add some colour, some indications of maybe a bit of shadow. Into the centre. Maybe we can even add a bit of, and that's going to be like that. Can do that. Wow, that's looking a bit better. Right, okay, now give that a little clean. It is time to have a bit of fun with the bright yellow. So all I'm going to do now is just mark where I want some daisies. I want it to lead in. I've got a bit too much water on here. Right, that's better. Right. I'm going to have a couple in there. Like that. I'm going to have some up here. We're going to have these coming out. They're going to take us out the picture. And maybe back in. We'll just give some indication. We want some in here. You've got to remember to overlap, so at some point they've got to come over the flowers as well. And then we're going to have some down here. We're going to have a couple, just a few down there. And we need some up here, definitely up here. Like that. And there's something not quite right down here, so we're going to add, but these have got to be bigger because it's in the foreground. So we're going to try something different, and we'll have one down there. They are. So that's basically where all the daisies are going to go. Hope you're not bored yet. It's not my normal way of doing things. Oh, I need that brush, don't I? Right, so now we're going to use the white. Make sure you don't have any hairs on your brush. You've got to be gentle in the background. Not much pressure, because we're trying to give the illusion of depth and distance. all I'm doing is moving the brush out or in to the centre of that yellow. Obviously the nearer you get, which will be, in this case, will be at the bottom of the picture, the firmer the strokes and the bigger the strokes. Yes, you do need a lot of patience and a steady hand. The important thing is also to make sure that the daisies don't look all exactly the same, so you've got to just play around with the strokes just to give play around with the length of the stroke as well as the thickness of the stroke, just to give that a feel that they're not the same. See how we're getting a bit, that one's a bit nearer, so we're going to use some bigger strokes to give that a feel of the petals. When you're dealing with the ones further away, it's best not to have so much paint on your brush. Therefore you're not going to be making sure you're not going to be making the mistake of putting too much paint on. I really do want to try and make sure I get this done in the half hour, so it's a 1 hour video. Quite an achievement, wasn't it, to do painting in an hour? What do you think? Do you think it's coming on alright? I hope so. Has it been worth it? Playing around. Still got some here, they're a bit further away, so I've just got to be a bit careful of those. Right, so I think now we've got somewhere that just that little bit bigger here. So they can be bigger strokes and more paint. And then we've got some really big ones here, so they need to be bigger. And that's it, folks. We're finished. That's it. I'm not going to do any more to it. You have to know when you've done enough. And that's it. I've done that, and I think we've done it within the 1 hour. So I'm going to switch the camera off in a second once the app is loaded up. I'm going to take a picture, and I will put I'll have a shot finished at the ends, zoomed in so you can see it, because you're seeing it from a distance. Okay.